Hey guys, Moderator here, and today I'm starting my new home media guide and retrospective series of videos about the nightmares of DVDs that Funimation has given us, so let's get started. Dragon Ball Z's huge television following and rise in popularity during the 1990s with tons of merchandise of everything you can think of. There was action figures, bed sheets, clocks, anything you could possibly think of.
Dragon Ball Z products, action figures from Irwin Toys, playing and trading cards of the Dragon Ball Z gang, Mousé Pads, animation cells, party favors, CDs, and a host of other really cool stuff.
Obvious move now would be to release the series on home media, so you can watch your favorite episodes without waiting for the Toonami block. To tell the full story, we have to look all the way back at the first release of Dragon Ball Z. Not on DVD, but on VHS. Dragon Ball Z was first released on VHS in 1997 with the release of the Arrival VHS tape that came in a clamshell case which contained the original 4 episodes of the series in the Ocean dub. This was released in both edited and uncut format. Now you're probably sitting there wondering, what in the world is an Ocean dub? When Dragon Ball Z first aired on Toonami, it was originally dubbed by a Canadian dubbing studio called Ocean Studios. This version is heavily censored and cuts out a lot of content. That it adds up to being about 15 episodes worth of cut content. The first 67 episodes, but would cut it down to 53. This version has different voice actors such as Peter Kalamis as the voice of Goku and Brian Drummond as the voice of Vegeta. Ocean would also dub the first 3 movies Dead Zone, The World's Strongest, and The Tree of Might, but they wouldn't censor or cut them. Funimation released the first 53 Ocean dub episodes on VHS, and on episode 54 for the edited, and episode 68 for the original Japanese uncut version, they would switch to Funimation in-house cast a lot of us know today, such as Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat.
Start with the 7-episode Ginyur SAGA, available on 2 tapes in both edited and unedited formats. And don't miss out on the upcoming 10-tape Frieza Saga, coming to your stores soon. You'll want to collect them all.
The switch on the VHS tape titled Captain Ginyu Assault. In these early VHS tapes, you can tell a young, inexperienced Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat. You can actually hear Chris trying to sound like Brian Drummond, who was the Ocean dub actor for Vegeta. Funimation would eventually go back and fix this with a redub on the Orange Brick DVDs, but we'll get to those on another episode. Back to the DVDs. A company named Pioneer would gain the right to distribute the original tapes, but as DVD versions. These DVDs started releasing in April of 1999 with the Arrival, which would match the VHS tapes, being sold in either singles or most of the sagas, except for the Frieza and Trunks sagas, would be also sold in box sets as well. 86 DVDs in total, with each DVD containing either 3 or 4 episodes each. It was presented in its original intended 4:3 aspect ratio and was not remastered from TV. Even the grain that made the cell or animation pop. The Ocean DVDs will contain the Rock the Dragon intro, while the Funimation would contain the boring instrumental that we have called the movie theme. Ocean DVDs would have the Ocean dub outros they made themselves, and then the Funimation DVDs would have the Zenkai Power outro. Ocean would only have the Ocean Studio dubs on the DVDs, and there was no Japanese version. But the Funimation DVDs would be the first time you could ever watch those Japanese versions of Dragon Ball Z, as well as the English version on the same disc. For the last time on Dragon Ball Z and previously on Dragon Ball Z, the Ocean DVDs would only have the previews and the catch-ups on the first and last episode of each disc. But the Funimation DVDs would have the previews on every episode, they'll only have the next time on the last episode of each disc. Now, I do own one of the Ocean DVDs and have the PAL version for some reason, and it has no disc in it. That I don't actually have any of the DVDs, but I do own quite a bit of the VHS tapes, which are the same as the DVDs except for on VHS. Series 1 of the DVDs would be titled The Saiyan Conflict and would contain 8 individual DVDs which they called volumes, which were released from April of 1999 to August of 1999. It also buys in a nice box set which applies to most of the series. Series 2, which is titled The Namek Saga, with 9 volumes, you can buy in a box set. This was released from August 1999 to December 1999. Next series, Series 3, is where Funimation took over, and it was titled after the saga's name, Captain Ginyu. It only contained 2 volumes, which was released in June of 2000. Series was Series 4 and would be the Epic Frieza Saga, which they titled the series just Frieza. Wow, very creative. Anyway, this had 10 volumes, and for some reason it doesn't have a box set release yet. There is a VHS version of it, and this was released from May of 2001 to December of 2001. Series 5 was the awful filler saga, Garlic Jr., which they just titled Garlic Jr. Okay, I guess they're just naming all the series after the exact name of the saga now. Could also buy this one in a box set even though it only had 3 volumes. It was released from January 2002 to February 2002. Next series, Series 6, was the short but sweet Trunks Saga, which they titled Trunks. It was 2 volumes and was the only other series that did not have a box set. It was released in September of 2000. You probably just realized, wait a second, how did you go from 2002 to 2000? Yeah, for some reason, I guess we're behind from when the show was airing on Toonami, so they had to go back later and release DVDs for things they missed. We see this pop up many times, so do not worry. 7 was a sci-fi themed Android saga, which I titled Androids. It had 4 volumes and was available in box set form. It was released from March 2001 to May 2001. Series 8 was Imperfect Cell saga, which they titled Imperfect Cell. It had 4 volumes and was available in a box set form as well. It was released from January 2002 to May 2002. Series 9 is where Cell would obtain his perfect form, which they titled The Perfect Cell. It had 4 volumes and was available in a box set. It was released from June 2002 to October 2002. Series 10 is the action-packed epic Cell Game saga, which they, of course, titled Cell Games. It had 4 volumes was featured in a box set form, even though the VHS didn't get a Cell Games box set. It was released from October 2002 to February 2005. The reason for the massive jump is because they made half the DVDs for the Cell Games and then stopped to make other ones and went all the way back. Basically released Cell Games last. Series 11 is one of my favorite, Great Sandman saga, which they titled Great Sandman. I'm getting really tired of saying the names because they're exactly the same as the saga. But anyway, it had 5 volumes and also had a box set, even though the VHS one did not have a box set. It was released from March 2005 to November of 2005. 12 was the World Tournament saga, which of course they titled World Tournament. It had 3 volumes and had a box set release. It was released from June 2001 to July 2001. Series 13 is my all-time favorite series, the Bobbity saga, which they titled Bobbity. It had 4 volumes and there is a box set release. It was released in October 2001. Series 14 was a Majin Buu saga, which they titled Majin Buu, of course. There were 7 volumes in a box set version. It was released from January 2002 to June 2002. Series 15 was a Fusion saga, which they titled Fusion. It had 7 volumes and had a box set version. It was released from June 2002 to October 2002. Series 16 was the final and conclusion series, which was the Kid Buu saga, which they of course titled Kid Buu. There's 5 volumes and a box set version that was released from November 2002 to March 2003. Altogether, there are 16 series that consist of the original run of the series, and even though a lot of DVDs to collect, if you enjoy the Ocean dub and the original Toonami airing of the show, I would recommend this release, especially if you don't mind collecting all 86 DVDs that are required to complete the set. The box sets are really nice, even though it is annoying they didn't make one for Frieza and Trunks sagas, which will make kind of a weird display on your shelf. I also recommend these, especially if you grew up on the Ocean dub, because I really enjoy the Ocean DVD covers as they are unique covers, while the Funimation DVDs just took screen caps. Still cool, but they don't have much effort as the Ocean ones did. All of these DVDs are out of print and aren't very pricey, although I have seen some people try to sell them for extremely high prices as they think they have something rare because they are the original run. But I recommend checking local second-hand websites and stores to find these, because you can find for probably $1, $3, $5, like it won't go higher than that for each. There's another option for the Ocean dub if you're just looking for the Ocean dub, and that is the Rock the Dragon set, which was released in 2013, and we will go over this in another episode, so don't worry. It took them over 6 years to complete the 291 episode series, with going back and forth with release schedules, which just caused problems for people trying to collect the entire series. As if you missed a DVD or two, you'd have to go back and track it down somehow. These do not have a remaster and are not cropped like some of the other releases. Look at your orange bricks. But the quality on these are not the greatest, but if you want the organic feeling, these are perfect. Funimation then decided they needed to fix the first 67 episodes of the series with the new Ultimate Uncut editions, which would turn into a mess, but we will dive into those next time. Also take a look at the terrible nightmare that is the orange bricks. During all this, Japan would see the release of the Dragon Boxes, which were 2 26-disc sets that would include the full series in 4x3 in beautiful picture quality. They would even get ones for GT, the original series, and the movies. We would eventually see the Dragon Ball Z Dragon Boxes, but not for many years. So in conclusion, the original Pioneer singles are pretty great. It was nice to look back at them, for the nostalgic reasons. I mean, of course, I never actually grew up with them, but they just seem very nostalgic, you know what I mean? I love the Ocean covers as well. It's quite annoying to collect those DVDs, and the quality isn't that really that great anymore, but they're just really nice to look back at, and just how things used to come. Like, it used to be 3 or 4 episodes. Now you can get like a season for like $10, you know what I mean? So that's pretty crazy. These used to retail for like $20 here in Canada, maybe. I'm not sure where they used to retail in other places, but yeah. So yeah. Anyway, next up we're gonna be looking at the Ultimate Uncut editions, which I think that there's not enough to cover in that episode, so I'll probably have to do 2 in 1. Because those will probably be pretty quick, like a 2-minute or 3-minute thing, maybe, I don't know. So, anyway, it seems to have the next one in a bag over here or something. I don't know why I have it in this bag. I don't know. You can pull whatever's in this bag here. Oh. Oh, no. I'm not ready. The orange brick releases. Tune in next time for when I look at absolutely mediocre and terrible orange brick releases of Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, guys, I'm out of breath from talking about these DVDs. Please come back next time. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bye.